Hi there. It's another episode of Landscape Lies by Landscape Lyle. I've been going over the virtues of various preparations for your garden and how to make it better. We've talked about the condition of the soil and the things that you can do to improve the soil. We've talked about proper watering techniques and how important that is to both the condition of the soil and for the long-term condition of your landscaping and your plants, because proper irrigation allows your plants to grow properly, and then in long term use a lot less water. You'll be a lot more healthy. And now we need to proceed to the next stage, and the next natural procedure to all this is the fun of putting everything in place and the importance of putting everything in their proper place. So I'm going to tell you about where to put it, how to put it there, the advantages of putting it there, some of the disadvantages of misplacing your plants. So let's take off now and have a look at how to put in plants properly. Now, it's really important to make sure you put the plants in the proper hydrozone. And as I explained previously, the hydrozone is the amount of water it takes, the amount of sun that it's going to take or shade. So you want to make sure that the particular plant fits the particular kind of environment that you're going to be putting it into. So I always break it up 4 different ways: sun and shade, lawn and planter. They all take specific watering techniques and also the exposure to the sun and other various things. I mean, there are some conditions where the exposure creates a very difficult situation for the plants. And that would be really, really cold or shady, and then really, really hot and sunny in the afternoon. You need a specific kind of plant that can tolerate that kind of conditions. There are those. We want to make sure we put the plants in the right place because 2 things. We don't want it to overgrow the house. I can't tell you how many times I've seen massive sequoia trees that were at one time a Christmas tree planted right at the front door, or $15 million mansions, which I have a lot of experience landscaping. Put these beautiful giant trees right up against the house thinking it looks good. 10 years later, that 15-foot wide tree is now breaking their foundations, and it's a very expensive repair work no matter what your budget is. So we want to make sure it goes in the right place. The other reason we want to make sure it goes in the right place is so it looks correct. We don't want to just stuff it in there and continually have to trim it to fit the particular area. It takes away from the natural beauty of the plants, and it's a lot more work, because ultimately, if things go like they normally do, you will spend a lot more money on maintenance than you will ever spend on the initial installation of your landscaping, because it's ongoing and lasts for many years. If we get it wrong in the beginning, you'll spend even more money on your landscape maintenance, and we want to try to avoid that. We want some beauties. So let's go over some of the reasons why. The size and the growth patterns of your plants have a lot to do with it. Obviously, the sunshine and the shade that's available to it has a lot to do with it. Wind protection, that's something we didn't talk about. You can create hedges and visual borders and wind protection for your yard based upon strategic planting of windbreaks and other things if your property is large enough to need that kind of an effect. That's something to take into consideration. The screening and whatnot also has a lot to do with your privacy and the things that you want to protect your yard from. That has a lot to do with where you want to put the plants. Soil and drainage, of course, we've talked about that previously, how important it is. So in review, make sure that the soil is in good shape. Make sure you have proper irrigation. And now, make sure you put the plants properly where they belong. Extremely important. We're slowly layering everything together. I hope this has helped you understand a little bit better of your landscaping and making America more beautiful in a proper way. Anybody can throw plants in. Anybody can throw plants over their head and kind of put them wherever they are. You will pay the price for it in the long run. You always get what you pay for. It's important to go with a truly experienced landscape professional who has years of experience and has seen what your gardens look like after a few years of being in. These are the things I can help to add to your landscape and gardening experience. I hope it's been helpful. Thank you very much. And we will see you in the next episode.